Carlos Garcia, and this is my speech. I got my audience here, my dad, my brother. Um, um, Basically, my speech is about villains, and one famous quote that I like is, "Man is an elusive beast, given to cultivating strange notions about himself," which is a quote by Upton Sinclair, a great writer, wrote The Jungle. Um, one of the what this presentation aims to inform you guys about villains and how they work, and the purpose is to be able to either understand villains and how they work, to understand other people, or to be able to craft your own villain. I've written some D&D campaigns and written villains, and I felt like it really changed my understanding of people and stuff like that. Um, Basically, what I'm going to go through with this presentation is what villains are not, um, villain motivation, and how they interact with other characters or other people. The first thing I want to start off with is what villains are not. Villains are, like, one thing is considered, some people might consider a villain, is Godzilla. He's not a villain, he's more of a force of nature or natural disaster. Anything that kind of causes mindless destruction without motivation, that's what I think is not a villain per se, or a good one at least. Leading into our second point, is Darth Vader, which the second point is or villain motivation, which I've chosen Darth Vader because I think he's a famous villain that a lot of people know from Star Wars. So Darth Vader starts out as Anakin Skywalker, right? Left his home at a very young age to become a Jedi, to do good in the galaxy, to save people, and to follow his Jedi duties and stuff like that. And eventually, this beast that's inside of him, like in the Upton Sinclair quote, overtakes him. This fear overtakes him, right? And he doesn't want to lose the people that he loves, so he does a lot of horrible acts in order to try to save them, per se. And so he commits mass atrocities like genocide and just destruction of life in order to save his wife from death, but in the end, he ends up killing her. And this grief ensues him and turns into hate. And he continues to be this monster because he feels like he can't forgive himself, and he fears that he's not of worthiness to be forgiven. And that continues him being a villain, which these kind of interactions lead into our third point, character interaction. Character interactions with a villain kind of fall into some kind of categories, which I'll kind of explain. That being like the villain explaining to the people, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, this is why it's evil. So Doofenshmirtz explaining to Perry the Platypus how Zanator is gonna take over the tri-state area. And so also basically another type of villain and character interaction is the characters trying to reason with the villain or persuade them not to be the villain anymore, which in the new Star Wars movie, be like Kylo Ren and Han Solo, when Han Solo tries to convince Kylo Ren to go back to the Jedi way, or the light side per se. And these character interactions mixed with what a villain is not, and villain motivations, is what makes a good villain, and how you can orchestrate one or understand one. These core concepts, I believe, will allow you to understand villains or make them. Basically, what I want you to take away from this is not only what villains are about, but what other people are about, and learn to understand people a bit better and maybe the people that are kind of like villains in your life maybe aren't as villainous as you think, and you need to be careful in what you hate because you might end up becoming what you hate. This is once again my audience. My dad, my brother. Thank you for watching.